check on that since you mentioned it.
All right, I'm ready. Y'all ready? Notice is hereby given that Erath County Commissioners Court will meet in regular session on Monday, August the 26th, 2024 at 9 a.m. in the second floor Commissioners Courtroom at the Erath County Courthouse, Stephenville, Texas, to consider the following agenda items for discussion and possible action. We'll start this morning with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next will be our invocation.
Thank you. Let's pray this morning. God, our Heavenly Father, God, the creator, the beginning and the end of all things, we come here this morning and we just ask your blessing. As you have blessed this county, as you bless the people here and given us a place for families to grow and businesses to run and succeed, God, I pray that that hand of blessing would continue through this meeting and throughout the rest of this year. We thank you again for this time in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Item number 3 is public comments, and I have one, Miss Joanna Friedman, and you've got 3 minutes.
Okay, let me get my breath. I'm talking about the road use agreement on roads 300 and 299. I wanted to ask you on the bond on that, it's $1 million. Is that enough for a paved road? And also the weight on that is going to be exceptional. They have 14 containers, which are 7 megawatts apiece, which is probably going to be more than 14 containers. I would think it's probably going to be more like 28 coming down that road. And, excuse me, I was just running up the stairs. But basically, what I wanted to ask you was on the $1 million bond, is that going to be enough to cover you on this paved road? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, another thing, sorry, old age, give me that one. On the gates are locked at the minute because they're starting construction, and they will be, imagine, during construction, but once it's operating, will not EMS, but your emergency management department be able to get in there for any reason that they need to get in? And that's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. Item number 4. Ms. Elizabeth Johnson with Meals on Wheels.
Hello. I can't believe I didn't have to move this. That never happens. I'm Elizabeth Johnson, and I have the honor of being the Executive Director of Meals on Wheels. I'll tell you a little bit about Meals on Wheels. Most of you know our main program is that we provide home-delivered meals to the seniors and disabled of Erath County. We also provide congregate meals at the senior center to anyone who wants to get out of their house and go to the senior center and have their meal there. Those meals are free to anyone that wants to go that's over the age of 60. We have a transportation program where we provide 30 one-way trips anywhere in Erath County for our clients. Those trips are they're not just medical, they can go to Walmart, they can go to the movies, they can go see family. Anywhere they want to go, we provide that in order to keep our clients engaged in the community. We also have a pet food program because we know how important our pets are, and we don't want our clients using their resources to feed their pets instead of themselves. So we provide pet food to our clients every month if they would like that. And our newest program is our Friendly Visitors program, where we provide a volunteer who makes a new friend. And we started this program because on Mondays, our volunteers would come back and say, oh my gosh, everybody wanted to talk today. And we realized that some of our clients hadn't seen another person since their volunteer was there on Friday. So we realized the importance of creating those connections. So we do those friendly visitors both in Oh, I'm glad it wasn't me.
No,
In
that's all right.
person, both in person and on the phone. But always, the most important service that we provide in Erath County is our home delivered meals. Last year, we had over 45,000 meals delivered in this county. Last month, we had 3,400 meals delivered. No, excuse me, 3,700 meals delivered in this county. We served 342 members of our county, and we serve almost, we have a client that's almost at I-20, and we have a client that's almost in Hyco. We have one that's almost in De Leon. We serve the entire county and everybody in Erath and, and in Stephenville and Dublin and all in between. We have one in Bluffdale. We have clients everywhere. We deliver to all of them. We use volunteers to help us provide that. Last month, we had 356 volunteer hours and 3,500 miles that our volunteers traveled to get those meals delivered to us last month. What we're asking you is that we apply for the Texas Department of Agriculture grant, their home delivered meal grant, and to get that grant, we're required to get a grant from our county. And y'all have done this for us for many years. I don't even know how long. And we're asking that again, you'll support us with $25,000.
Yes, ma'am. It is in our budget, in our proposed budget for us to do that. And so we will, like I told you, at our next court, we'll have a resolution in place for it, and our budget will be approved at that time. We can talk about it.
Thank you very much.
It's something that I learned just for the general public. It's going to be a tough year with Meals on Wheels. The state funding and federal funding just in the North Central COG was cut by $3.7 million for these programs. So you saw COVID identify a lot of people to get onto this program, and now the funding is being cut at a state and federal level. So
Absolutely.
y'all stretched the dollar very well. A lot of volunteer hours go into that. It's very appreciative.
Thank you. Thank you for your
People
support.
that need it.
Any questions?
Any questions? Awesome. Thank you
y'all.
so much.
Thank you.
Item number 5, land development. Item A, discussion and action to approve final and recorded plan for suited RV park in precinct 3.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Gardner.
There should be a handout in your packet, it's a copy of the plan so that you can see it. This is in Commissioner Edwards' precinct. This was a project that was started quite some time ago, actually, under Commissioner Brown. We worked on this RV park for an extensive period of time, got a lot of the stuff completed, septic and utilities and everything was installed for this RV park. And then the owners had some financial issues and they ended up selling this at an auction. The issue that we had at auction was we tried to convey that this was not a turnkey RV park at that time, but that was not conveyed at the auction. The auctioneer wouldn't do that. Anyway, we had to find we had some time to figure out who the new owner was. We contacted the new owner and let them know that they were not completed with this project yet. We worked with them and the engineer. We got everything back on track, and the owner complied and got everything up to code like we needed it to be. There were some things that needed to be addressed and finished, and he had no problem doing that. So everything has been submitted to my office. Commissioner Edwards and I made a final inspection last Friday. The only thing that was not completed at the time to do the final was the addressing per each RV spot. They have to have an address visibly clear in case there's an EMS call out there so they can identify which one is which. I verified those numbers this morning. They are in place and they are per our standards. So at this time, this project is completed. Everything's been submitted to my office and approved, and I'm just bringing it to you for approval to finalize it.
Looks great. Yeah, it looks great.
Any questions for Mr. Gardner? If not, I'd entertain a motion. Yes, ma'am.
recorded plan, that's the verbiage for, this is the final one that's gonna be recorded with the county clerk. This is under the old rural development rules, and that's the verbiage that's used in the old rural development. No, 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 that's gonna be this one. Yes, it'll be filed and recorded in your office. Yes, ma'am.
Anybody else? I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the final and record a plan for the suited RV park.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Buck, a second by Commissioner Edwards, to approve the final and record plan for suited RV park in precinct 3. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We will move forward. Item B, discussion and action to approve final and recorded plan for Creek's Edge Cottages in precinct 1. Mr. Gardner.
This is a cabin, a tiny cabin development that's on County Road 258 in Commissioner Stevens' precinct. We've been working with the owner pretty extensively, along with the engineer, to make sure everything was done in compliance with our rules. Everything has been completed. Final inspection was done by myself, the commissioner, and the engineer. And this is also under the old rural development rules, so it's going to be addressed the same as the previous one. It's going to be a final that's recorded in your office as well. We'll bring that over to you, but everything's been submitted, everything's been approved, everything's been done correctly, and I'm just bringing it for approval before the court.
All's good?
All's good, yeah, we've been out there several times, but they did a great job, and the little cabins look small from the roads if you get out there, and they're actually, well, I was really surprised what they can do in a small space with some of those cabins, but they're very nice. They turned out very nice. But with that, I'll make a motion to approve the final and recorded plan for the Creek's Edge Cottages.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Stevens, a second by Commissioner Buck, to approve the final and recorded plan for Creek's Edge Cottages Precinct 1. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That'll move forward. Item C, discussion and action concerning WA Properties project located off County Road 407 in Precinct 2.
We've got the engineer representative here to discuss this project.
Okay.
So this was an old one, it's an older rental property. In '23, the court approved the preliminary plan to do an expansion. They added a building, they only added one, they were gonna add two. Then the septic, Austin approved the septic January. Everything looks completed. They've got the water in, the septic in, electricity in, except the roads and drainage. They haven't finished that. But what's happened is this was in the 2020 rules, and we had a year to complete it, and they didn't get it completed in time, so we're asking for an extension to finish the drainage and the roads on it. It's always to finish that. Probably, I'm thinking 6 months, be more than adequate time, but I'm assuming one day it's gonna cool off and rain, and so that slows down. But they've got caliche in there now. It's crushed asphalt, but it's not to our standards. And the drainage has got some more, so we've got a little bit of work to finish up on it. But as far as construction, utilities, they're finishing in place.
Thank you, sir.
This was just a unique situation, which is that we didn't meet the deadline, so the project has expired in essence before we asked for the extension. So this is a little different than normal. Per the rules, we'd have to make them go back through the process, start the process over under new rules. That's your call, if that's what you want them to do, but I know that we can finalize and finish the project and get the road built and the drainage in a short period of time.
So they're requesting a 6-month extension, which we've done.
You think they can get it done in 6 months?
I believe so. The only issue is that we're supposed to ask for this extension before it runs out, before it expires. You know, it's just helping crack somewhere, but that's what we're wanted to see how you were precinct for you.
I'm good with the 6 months, but the only deal at the end of 6 months, if they're not completed, then they'll be required to go back and start with the new girls.
Yes.
So they don't extend it out, they will have to start over brand new.
Understood.
Are the standards for the new and the old one that much difference? Where
No, they're not that much different, but per our own rules, you'd have to start over. So we'd have to go through a lot of different hoops, and we'd have to get a lot of engineering looked at, and then we'd resubmit all the paperwork back through the county engineer, but if there's any discrepancies, they would have to change some things. We have to, I don't know what the situation would be, but.
make a motion.
So I'll make a motion to give them a 6 months extension, with the understanding at the end of 6 months, if it's not completed, then they will start over under the new rules and have to go through the complete process again.
Understood.
Second.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Ray, a second by Commissioner Edwards, to approve a 6-month extension for Wall Properties project located at County Road 407 Precinct T. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That'll move forward. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. Item 6, discussion and action to approve monthly departmental reports. You should have had those emailed to you. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the monthly departmental reports.
Second.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Ray, a second by Commissioner Edwards to approve the monthly departmental reports. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
That will move, any opposed? That'll move forward. Item number 7 is discussion and action to approve the appointment of Dr. Reginald Hall as trustee for Pecan Valley Centers for Behavioral and Developmental Health Care for a 2-year term. Dr. Hall's term is up. I have the privilege to serve with him on this board. Dr. Hall has graciously volunteered to serve another 2-year term. You've got a letter from Coke Bailey, the executive director there. So I would entertain a motion to appoint Dr. Hall.
I'll make a motion to reappoint Dr. Reginald Hall as the trustee of Pecan Valley Centers of Behavioral and Developmental Health Care for a 2-year term.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Stevens, a second by Commissioner Ray to approve Dr. Reginald Hall as a trustee for Pecan Valley Centers for Behavioral Health and Development Health Care for a 2-year term. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Perfect. And thank you, Dr. Hall, for volunteering and serving on that board. So, item number 8 is discussion and action to approve standby fee and fee schedule for EMS. Mr. Jackson.
Y'all should have gotten 3 schedules in your packet there. The first one, I had Emergicon pull data for all this. That's our billing software company, our billing company. They pulled several from the area and gave a reference to it. Y'all can kind of see we're a little bit below the average on that. And then also you have our current fee schedule there, which if you look at it, you can see there's one that really stuck out to me that was way below what it should be. That BLS disposable fees like $300 lower than it should be per cost. And then a proposed fee schedule that they put together that will go along with Medicare rates and will increase our collection rates. So that's the proposal. It's not a big increase on most of the stuff, but that one in particular is a pretty big price increase. So just help us recoup a little bit more money on those. And then the second part of that is on our standby coverages. We're currently at $95 an hour billing, what we'll bill whoever we do the standby for. I'm proposing that we go to $125 an hour. I'm having trouble getting my part-time help to work those events because it's hard for them to come in and work 2 or 3 hours for their hourly rate, which is, it's not feasible for them to burn that up in gas coming and going. So I'd like to propose that we just do a flat rate for my employees that work those events, full-time or part-time, $150 per person. And it's my understanding that's what Dublin's charging for their football standby coverages. So it would cost the county $300 an event, but we would recoup that by what we charge the client, so.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Jackson?
And one note, I've already also committed to 8 football standbys at $95 an hour, so that won't fall into that, because I've already committed to that. That was for Lincolnville and for Bluffdale football games, so.
Did you say you want to go from 95 to 125?
On standby coverage, yes, sir.
What's this BLS disposal?
Yes, that's how,
Where pretty low compared to everyone else. And that's-
yeah, I didn't realize it was that low, so. And we hadn't gone up on any rates since I've been here. It's time that we need to go up on just because of the cost.
And most of this is billable to their insurance.
Yeah, all of the fee schedule is billable now. You won't bill ALS and BLS. It'll be like an ALSE would be the standard flat fee for, if we do any kind of advanced care, and then you get the mileage and your disposables on top of that, so.
I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the standby fees and fee schedule for the EMS.
A second.
I've got a motion by,
Maybe we're going to change them,
what's that?
that we're going to propose fee schedule instead of the current fee schedule and change it to 95.
Going to the proposed, yes, sir.
Clarify that.
Well, I think it's,
What's your question?
we've got, hold
we
on,
need to
hold on,
clarify that?
hold on. We've got a first by Commissioner Ray, a second by Commissioner Edwards to approve the proposed standby fee and fee schedule for EMS. I don't need to read all of these changes into the record if we've got it here.
As long as we mention we're going to the proposed fee schedule.
We're going to.
We're changing from the current to the proposed fee schedule, and we're changing the standby fee from $95 to $125 an hour.
Right.
That's the only thing I need to mention.
Does that
Make sure that's
include
out
the
there.
150 per my employees? Are y'all putting that in there or not? Just for my, or y'all want to address that?
We might need to address that in the budget portion of it, which we can.
That's fine.
It would be separate. All right. Any, good point. Any further discussion? All right, I've got a motion by Commissioner Ray, a second by Commissioner Edwards. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you, sir. Item 9 is discussion and action to approve service agreement between Erath County EMS and the American National Red Cross Biomedical Services.
Morning.
Mr. Swearing, good morning.
This is, hopefully you have that in front of you. This is a service agreement for working with American Red Cross to provide blood for critical care transfusion. So that's what we kind of discussed at the last, during the budget hearing there. The equipment as far as storage and everything like that for transport has been ordered, working on all that still coming in. This is basically just a service agreement for Red Cross actually providing the blood units to me. So what this will be, the first several pages of this are mainly just going to be discussing the proper storage and everything there, tracking of the blood units. What I'd call your attention to mainly to discuss is on page 6, which is the fee schedule. And on that first line under blood products is going to be leukoreduced red cell. This is going to be packed red blood cells with an agreement of 1 unit per month being provided to the CRP program for Erath County EMS at $300 per unit. So that's what that is. They're agreeing to do a definite supply of 1 unit per month, with an understanding that if these units get used, that they would immediately send out and replenish that unit. So when we talked about that, we had budgeted for, roughly 6 uses out of the year, doing that just to gauge the use there. So with that in mind, that basically this is just an agreement that they do with all of their clients to just put in writing that they would guarantee a minimum of 1 blood unit per month to be used for emergency transfusion by the CRP team.
If you have to buy more, are they at the $300 rate as well?
They are at the $300 rate. Yes, there's no additional. The only fee that would be incurred at that time would be a unscheduled delivery fee, which you see down there at the bottom as at $50. So the other pricing that you see on there, LTOWB, that's low titer type O whole blood, that's just a price quote for that. At this time, I'm not going to carry whole blood because of the pricing. You see option 1 and 2 on that. Right now, it's at $610 per unit, and then moving up to $640 per unit the following year. Whole blood has about half the shelf life. So at this packed red blood cells, it lasts 28 days. They'll automatically recycle that. We have medications in EMS that will also handle, that we already carry on the ambulances to kind of help with the clotting side of this, and helping someone to stop the bleeding internally. This packed red blood cells, the primary reason for delivery of this would be to increase oxygen carrying capacity as well as volume expansion for blood loss. So still an excellent, excellent product and pretty easy to maintain and carry in a mobile environment.
Perfect. Any questions for Mr. Swearingen?
You're gonna carry this blood with you.
That's correct. The blood will be carried on my unit, on CRP unit. There's also blood units available with the CRP response units for Stephenville Fire Department. So as y'all probably know, sometimes for critical care calls or calls that are needing that level of care, whether it's myself or Stephenville Fire, the unit for Stephenville Fire would respond on our calls as well. We talked a little bit about during the budget, hearing about, at times where we are after hours or over weekends, nights and weekends, essentially, having a on-call of sorts schedule in place to where this level of care is always afforded to our citizens. So that will be in place. Everything is being ironed out there to where essentially, if this is a need that arises during an after hours time, night or weekend, that we would be we would be dispatched from home or wherever we're at there to make scene to deliver this to a patient.
Very good.
What would you anticipate the monthly cost? Is this the $300 unless you use?
$300 is, so as for what's scheduled, it being the 12 units, there's not a delivery fee on that, so it's just $300 even on these units.
Unless
unless you use it, and then in which case it's a $300 to replenish that unit plus a $50 delivery fee. They overnight that, it's pretty easy to restock it. As far as it being packed red cells and not a whole blood product, it's pretty easy to replenish. We don't have really any issues of it, not being in stock or something like that. So I have it, there is one thing on here, if you see on the third line where it says an O negative red cell, this is, maybe for discussion in here as well. O negative blood makes it available to all people, right? So O positive, the one thing that we, at the $300 rate, this O positive blood, the one thing that it is not really afforded to is females of childbearing age. Because if we don't know your blood type and we give that, and we have someone that has positive blood and we're giving, we're mixing, matching positive and negatives, that can cause birth defects, it can cause abortion, it can cause a person to become infertile, different things like that. So we are careful, and in the protocol, it is written to not give this O positive blood that way. So you, at $80 extra, $380 per unit, essentially, it changes to O negative blood to where there is no issue with any of that. So O negative blood would run us at $45.60 per year on the 12 units, 1 unit per month.
$4,500.
Yes, $4,500 for O negative versus O positive at $3,600 a year. So it's just under $1,000 difference for that. So very small amounts.
And we can discuss that. This is in this budget. I think you budgeted 300, but if that's something you would like to see, which quite frankly, for that cost level might make a lot more sense. Work for everybody.
Sure.
We can discuss that in budget. What we have today is just the agreement to provide, to
The
go into
goal-
agreement with.
The goal of this being with the 1 unit per month, essentially the goal of carrying this is that this will tie the person over till we can get Air Medical, which also carries blood products and can continue the delivery of it, or on the days where Air Medical is not flying because of bad weather and we are coming here locally, they also have blood units available. So this is a way to tide someone over who needs blood products right now to save them from death, and can give them, blood in the interim until they can receive more from either of those 2 facilities.
Where they out of?
American Red Cross, where the shipments would be coming out of for us would be the DFW area. And they ship rapid, actually through FedEx, refrigerated, everything, it's all controlled and tracked on that. Yeah, absolutely. So,
All right. Well, I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the service agreement between Erath County and EMS and American National Red Cross Biomedical Services.
I've got a motion. Do I have a second? I got a second by Commissioner Buck. Motion by Commissioner Edwards, second by Commissioner Buck to approve the service agreement with the Erath County EMS and American National Red Cross Biomedical Services. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll move forward. Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Quick thing for all of EMS, increasing the level of care for our patients and what we're doing, and y'all are doing a really good job, so appreciate it. So, item number 10, discussion and action to enter into negotiations with HOK for the Erath County Joint Dispatch Center Architectural Design Services.
Morning. So I think you all have a copy of the letter from our board president, Chief Harris. We're just wanting to move forward with the next step because we went out for a request for qualification. The next step is to enter in negotiations to see where we're going to be, timeline, money, everything else. Because we went through the process that we did, HOK was, excuse me, seemed to have the better relatable experience. I mean, they were all qualified, obviously, to do what we need done, but it just came down to relatable experience for the project that we're wanting to do here. So that's what we're asking for, is to enter in negotiations with HOK as the next step.
All right. And if you'll remember, we did a request for qualifications 2 courts ago, opened those up, gave those to the Joint Dispatch Board, and as Mr. Brooks has said here, they've made the recommendation for us to enter in negotiations with HOK. What will happen if we approve this, the conversations will start, because it's a request for qualifications. If there is a stumbling block on price, based on what we have budgeted for it to go to that, we are able to then go and discuss with another firm. But,
Where are they from? It's okay, are they out of?
They're in the Metroplex. In the Metroplex.
then you've got the packets with so. Any more questions for?
Obviously, you're good with them.
Yeah, we went, the whole board went through all of them and actually ranked them individually, and then we came back and met and ranked them as a group. And HOK by far was number one, and then number 2, 3, 4, we ranked them all the way down. So we had a pretty solid top 3, but HOK was by far number one.
Well, I'll make the motion to enter into negotiation with HOK for the Erath County Joint Dispatch Center for architectural design services.
Second.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Stevens, a second by Commissioner Buck, to enter into negotiation with HOK for the Erath County Joint Dispatch Center Architectural Design Services. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That'll move forward. Another step in the milestone to having a joint dispatch center, so good work, board. Item 11, discussion and action to approve a road use agreement between Erath County and Lucky Bluffs Best LLC on County Road 300. This is in Commissioner Stevens' precinct. You have this road use agreement in front of you. What I have to say on it, this went back and forth with Commissioner Stevens. Our Assistant County Attorney, Ms. Espinoza, worked on this and got them to add certain language and stuff into it, so I appreciate her and her office working on that. It kind of is what it is. It says it's a road use agreement for their project that they have going on this road. If you look in there, there's the defined boundaries for the road for them to travel for the building of this project. There is as Friedel said earlier, there is a $1 million, it is a $1 million letter of credit, basically bond for them. If any issues are caused by them with the road, they will repair it. We will hold that till we release it after the project is over. So, did I leave anything out?
No, I guess.
How many miles are they gonna run on our roads?
It's not far. It's probably coming off of 377 to the site. It's probably a mile. Maybe a little over a mile, just right at a mile. So it's not, but part of it is on 299 is chip seal road, and then 300 is a gravel road. So it's
$1 million can surely cover
Oh,
anything
yeah.
else. So we're good and covered.
covered. I just,
Yeah.
something like that, I didn't know on the road.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the work you've done to get this in place, because this doesn't, projects happen every day without us having this.
Yes,
So
no, I'm glad.
having the coverage of having it is important.
Exactly, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they started that a little less than that, we made them bump it up to the million. Anyway, well, I'll make the motion to approve the road use agreement between Erath County and Lucky Bluffs Best LLC on County Road 300.
Second.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Stevens, a second by Commissioner Edwards to approve the road use agreement between Erath County and Lucky Bluffs Best LLC on County Road 300. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That'll move forward.
I want to add one more thing on that. This isn't something, that we all want to see come into Erath County, but I will give Hunter credit from Lucky Bluffs. He has contacted the landowners around we've had instances with solar farms in the past where no news, you know, there's nothing. They just come in and do what they want to do when they want to do it. But they have went above and beyond in my perspective about contacting the neighbors and talking to the neighbors and, you know, letting them kind of know what's going on. They haven't just been hiding in the dark and, you know, being sneaky about things. They have been upfront and honest with the neighbors. So I will throw them props for that. They have made an effort to meet the neighbors and kind of talk to them, answer any questions that they had out there.
To answer your questions, it is enough money. The commissioners feel that that's enough money to repair any damages there. And emergency management and fire will have access to the property when it's over, just like any of the big projects. There'll be a box or a different gate code type thing to have access to.
We made sure when they first proposed building this in there, they have kind of a jog, you know, in that corner. They were wanting to buy like a 30-foot strip around that. We made them buy, I think it was 150 foot or 200 foot. You can't turn a semi on a 90-degree turn like that was what they were proposing. So we made them get, and the road will be wide enough. I believe there'll be ample room to get services in and out. If they can get their semi truck with their container or battery boxes in there, we'll have plenty of room to go in service.
I do like your agreement here, though, because I do like this agreement because it takes the liability off the county taxpayers for paying for damages for someone's self-enterprises that want to make a living and want to make a profit. So this won't be a incurred cost to the county. So that's a beautiful thing.
Item 12, discussion and action to declare surplus on Precinct 2 John Deere tractor and side boom mower to sell on Gov Deals or list for auction. Commissioner Ray?
This is a tractor that I wanting to sell. It's got a side boom mower on it. It's wore out. The tractor's got over 18,000 hours on it.
Wore out, it's gently used.
Gently used. Okay.
Gently used. If you're looking to buy it, it's an excellent piece of equipment.
It's gently used.
Anyway, this was on the agenda last time, and we had to go back and correct the wording on it, and this is just straighten it up. But anyway, what I'm requesting to do is sell it on Gov Deals, purchase new.
Perfect. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to allow Precinct 2 to sell a John Deere tractor and a side boom mower on Gov Deals or list on an auction.
Second.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Stevens, second by Commissioner Buck to declare surplus Precinct 2 John Deere tractor and side boom mower to sell on Gov Deals or list for auction. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Perfect. Item 13, discussion and action to approve selling or sending to auction a 2016 Ford Explorer from the Sheriff's Office.
Yes, sir. This used to be our ID Tech's vehicle. It's become to where it's irreparable, and we already had one bought for her. We just need to get this one stripped and get it down the road.
Perfect. Any questions for the sheriff?
Is this one of the ones you're gonna retire? You were gonna retire?
Yes, sir.
Several this year.
Yes, sir. This one, we were gonna wait till the new one was upfit, but it's just got to the point where we had to get her in her new one.
It's very gently used as well.
I'll make a motion to approve selling or sending to auction a 2016 Ford Explorer for the Sheriff's Office.
And I've got a motion by Commissioner Stevens, a second by Commissioner Buck to approve the sale or auction of a 2016 Ford Explorer from the Sheriff's Office. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that approved.
Just to give y'all an update, they're gonna start on all those others that we're getting rid of this week as well, so.
To bring those.
We'll be bringing those as they get rid of them. We actually already said which ones we're gonna get rid of, but.
How many is it? Okay.
Clean one owners.
Sir?
Clean one owners.
gently
They're
used.
one owner.
One owner,
They were one owner.
Should be driven on Sundays.
yeah,
We're the original owner.
barely driven,
Barely driven.
Driven on Sundays.
lots of idle miles.
They are one owner.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Item 14 is discussion and action to approve deeds on donated land for new bridges. This has been a bit of an ongoing project for all of our commissioners, with help with the county attorney's office again, helping with these. There are several bridge projects going on in Erath County. TxDOT used to handle the getting the right-of-way and easements and everything else, but now they've put that on the county. So we have 3 of them here that have been approved, have been agreed upon. I believe there's a few more that the commissioners are still working on, but we just need to approve accepting these projects. And if you commissioners that have been working on these have anything to add, I feel more than welcome. So.
It's fun.
He's got the biggest headache.
I think you have how many of these?
We got 2 of them.
2 of them. I think you
One's
have,
pretty easy, the other one's not.
you have,
I have one.
Yes, sir.
We hadn't gotten it.
We have one too.
so we're working. These agreements are with William Bradley Galbraith, Jimmy D. Bell, and John N. Bordeaux in Erath County. So I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the deeds on donated land for new bridges in Erath County.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Edwards, a second by Commissioner Buck to approve the deeds on the donated land for new bridges. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That'll move forward. Thank y'all for your hard work on those and continued. You probably will see a few more of those coming in a few months, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're from the government, we're here to ask you to donate land to a bridge project.
and they all say,
Excellent sales pitch, to be honest with you. So, we're working on it. And part of that is their bridges to increase travel, weight load, things like that, bridges that have been in place for a long time. So, projects that absolutely need to be done. The bridges are just a little bit bigger and take up a little more of the area footprint. All right, item 15, discussion and action to approve interlocal agreement for communications tower 1. All right, what you will see in your packet, this is the agreement that is in place with will be an agreement in place with NCT 911. This is going on with the ability we had with NCT 911 building 2 new 911 towers for us. It's part of the communications project. One of them would be off 3025. One of them will be built at the new Joint Dispatch Center. Really big cost savings to the county for this. This is just an agreement in place of the microwave towers across our region that will help create the redundancy and help us get our communications into the where we need it for this Joint Dispatch Center. So a savings of I estimate nearly $1 million with the 2 towers for what it's going to save that NCT 911 and the COG is putting into this project. For the region, this is to help the 911 system, but then we can utilize it to put different equipment on for our Harris system and stuff. With that, I'd answer any questions or would entertain a motion.
which one is Tower 1, Chris, do you know?
It's gonna be the Huckabee, or it's about 3025.
3025 is Tower 1? Not that it matters, I just
Right. So this agreement is for the Huckabee Tower and then the tower that'll be built at the Joint Dispatch Center. That last month, myself and Mr. Brooks went to Stephenville Board of Adjustments meeting and got approval for the variances that were needed for that. So all is moving forward.
I'll make a motion to approve the interlocal agreement for telecommunication tower 1.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Stevens, a second by Commissioner Ray, for an interlocal agreement for telecommunications tower 1. I'm really having trouble with that word today. Tower 1. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Discussion and action to approve interlocal agreement for telecommunications tower 2, which I believe is actually the one at the Joint Dispatch. Correct. So same spill, save you time if you've got a motion.
I'll make a motion. We approve interlogical agreement for telecommunications tower 2. See, it's hard.
Second.
I got a motion by Commissioner Edwards, a second by Commissioner Stevens.
That's a big word.
To approve the interlocal agreement for telecommunications tower 2. Finally got it. 5th time I've said it. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those move forward. Another milestone in the communications in Erath County. So good work by everybody involved there. Item 17, presentation of the Treasurer's Report, July 2024. Ms. Shaw.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. This is July 2024 monthly Treasurer Report. At least once a month at a regular term of the Commissioners Court, the County Treasurer shall make a detailed report of money received and dispersed, debts due to and owed by the county, and all other proceedings in the Treasurer's office. Receipts are $1,064,878.83. Disbursements were $2,187,853.57. Cash in bank total is $6,536,318.11. Cash invested was $27,472,298.11. Total cash and invested is $34,008,616.22. The debt of the county is $445,000. All of the accounts and investment accounts were all balanced and reconciled.
Thank you, ma'am. But don't go too far.
Yeah.
Because item 18 is receive and file the FY 2024 third quarter investment report.
Yes, this investment report is the quarter ending of June 30th of 2024. Our total cash in bank was $12,741,512, and we have an average rate there of 5.36%. Our interest year to date in that account is $429,943. Then in our tax pool accounts, we have a book value of $19,008,726 with an average rate of 5.46%. Year to date, interest is $846,347. Then on our logic, we have $8,337,276 at an average rate of 5.42. And then the interest year to date is $244,258. So our total is going to be $40,887,514 with an average rate of all of these investments is 5.39%, and our interest year-to-date is $1,520,548.
And all these documents will be online for the public to peruse at your leisure. If you need any reading material, that's there for you. Item 19, discussion and action to approve line item transfers. We have a couple here. We have the sheriff's office, and there's not very many, so I'm going to read these through to you. Moving $3,000 from equipment capital to uniforms. Sheriff's office moving $900 from continuing education to uniforms. EMS moving $28,200 from contingency to cover a laundry list of items from supplies, maintenance, equipment. Precinct 1 moving $2,500 out of contingency for uniforms and equipment non-capitalized. Precinct 3 moving $164,000 out of contingency into road materials. Emergency management coordinator moving $3,500 out of IT software into equipment non-capitalized. And precinct 4 moving $1,010 out of contingency to cover supplies and mileage reimbursement. And I would entertain a motion to approve those line item transfers.
I'll make a motion to approve the line item transfers.
Second.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Ray, a second by Commissioner Stevens to approve the line item transfers as presented. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Move forward. Item 20, discussion and action to approve invoices presented for regular and reoccurring payment as presented by the county auditor and issue order to the county treasurer to disperse the funds. Right here we have 7 packets that have a grand total of $527,124.84. A Commissioners Court packet for $349,221.96. Another Commissioners Court packet of $9,228.50. A July FNBO packet for $12,486.41. July 2024 fuel man of $10,261.86. A reoccurring payable of $41,769.95. A reoccurring payable of $25,472.63. And an August 2024 county indigent health care bill of $78,683.53. Again, for a grand total of $527,124.84.
Mr. Butler, make a motion, we pay the bill.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Buck, a second by Commissioner Stevens to approve invoices and pay the bills. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Move forward. Item 21, closed executive session. I do not have a need for one. Anybody in the court? That will move. Item 22, discussion and comments. Any new business? Commissioner Ray?
I don't have any.
Commissioner Stevens?
I would like to thank Bethany. She's done a lot of extra work for us lately on these bridges and stuff on that road use agreement. I appreciate you going extra mile and getting that done for us.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
Commissioner Edwards?
Yes, sir.
I don't either. Just a reminder, we do have a public hearing for, as we continue through the budget process, a public hearing on the 5th for the budget and tax rate, if you'd like to come. I just want to again say how appreciative I am of all the elected officials and department heads for all the work that's gone into getting us to this point. helping us manage the, what needs to happen today and the vision for where we're headed so that we're not caught with our head in the sand, not ready. So I appreciate all the work everybody's done there. Hearing on the 5th, we will have it on the agenda on the 9th to approve the budget. We'll see where that goes from there. So we appreciate you all coming, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Buck, a second by Commissioner Ray to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.